Okay, so we have 2 weeks until spring break. 2 weeks? Yeah. So we're doing one assignment between now and then one other assignment on the other side of spring break. The assignment from now until before spring break, and you can work on it during spring break. I don't think you will, but it's not going to be due until we get back on the 22nd, is to sort of come up with a method of visualizing simulation. Okay, so what does that mean? I talked to you guys briefly about Greg Lynn, animate form. Wait, I uploaded the wrong one, but this is something. I'll upload it again. And this is another article from 2006 that's actually using Maya to sort of generate simulations of environment. So those are two sort of examples of it. You can see animations could do that. You could see still images that could do that. But what I really want to understand from you is how can simulation visualize a moment in your design or impact a moment in your design, right? So we've got our pavilion design build back there. Y'all can make it rain and like really understand that. You can study wind. You can do a lot of different kinds of ideas about that. So what would you like to simulate within your project? So just try and it has to be architectural. It can't be like bouncing balls. You can use any in-cloths to do that. You can use a lot of ideas. And I'm throwing this out there. I know you don't even have the tools to do this yet, but this is the assignment. Clear? So the deliverable can be images. The deliverable can be video. It could be a GIF, but it has to be of a good quality and architecturally, theoretically rigorous. All right? And I mean that in no bouncing balls. Really, that's what I'm saying when I say that. How can bouncing balls be rigorous? Actually, that was Greg Lynn's first thing. He just threw balls out the door of the 42nd Street subway station and had this polygon follow it. He's like, architecture, right? That's not rigorous. But he was the man in 1998, so we'll let it go. So that's what the question is. And I'm posing it, and I'll put it in an email for the people that aren't here. But for now, today we're just going to learn about, we're going to basically, Maya and Max are similar, but I'm just going to go over the things that we already went over in Max, which is materials, rendering, keynote or keyframing, things like that, so you know how to do it. And then what I'd like for you to have by Thursday is have a look at concepts about simulation and design. Check out the readings on the reading tab, and then check out what I've added to week 9, which is I'm starting to add some particle-oriented things, creating flowing water. I'm going to add more. I added this website, which is, we will really get into, this is the man that taught me how to polygonal model at Pratt. And these are some of the exact tutorials I took at Pratt. So there's one called Particle Trails. How can you use that in an effective way? So on Thursday, what I want to hear from you is, my idea for this is, I want you to say, I want to do a video of my site and architecture having swarms of people flowing over the Williamsburg Bridge onto our site, right? That's a simulation, that's crowding, right? So that's something specific, and if it's not specific, then I'll force you to be specific and do something you don't want, right? Because that's what I do. Okay? Clear? Questions? So know what kind of output you're interested in. It would be wise to make it related to your studio and just make sure it's critical and, you know, not willy-nilly. Okay, so that's going to be due, well, right when we get back from spring break, before we start onto this stuff, which is really cool. Polygonal modeling. Let me 3D print it. It's awesome. Okay. So the thing that we looked at with last class, so they're all the same sort of concepts from Max to Maya. So first thing we'll do is keyframing. It's pretty basic. Instead of I thought there was a key here. Nope. Okay. All right. All right, so this is a little bit different because I'm hoping the key pops up after this. So when you are keying in Maya, it's exactly the same concept, except they try and make it easier on you. So again, this area over here is like the intense world of people that are in Maya. They do everything in this side folder. They dimension stuff, they translate, they rotate things. So because of that, you can go here when I want to move something and right click and hit set key. And that key did not show up. So weird. And then you can just do the exact same thing you were doing before. Move the keyframe over. Translate your object. And right click set key. Hit play. Right? Very simple. So the cool thing about that is we'll get better, or like it will become more obvious, but then when you have like particle emitters and things like that, you can actually key them. This one is a really great one, and I was going to demonstrate it in class, but there's no reason. Just watch it. It is a 12-minute video of this guy showing you how to sort of migrate particles from object to object. You can clearly think of that as like maybe people getting off the subway and going into a museum. So there's lots of ways to sort of imagine the simulation being integrated with keyframing. So that's basically keyframing. So the general things are you can change this, just like in Max, to whatever. And yeah, so that's the basics for keyframing. Where is my... Okay, so I forget where this lives in up here. It used to be under Windows, and I thought rendering, but it's called, wait, is it? No. So basically this is your materials. So again, just like Max, you can apply sort of different materials to different things. I don't know, this is kind of, I've been using it for a really long time, so I'm not sure if it's confusing. So essentially I never touch what's up here. I don't even know why it's up here. Definitely not Lambert, but the general breakdown of these materials is the Blinn is shiny, the Lambert is dull, and the Fong is plastic. So those are your basic ones. And then you have these sort of other crazy things. It's definitely not like 3D Max. You have these sort of elements which you can have volume, fog, particle clouds, 2D textures, 3D textures. They're kind of broken down for you, but they're not very good naturally inclined to architecture like Max was. So in that sense, you're usually going to grab a new Blinn if you're doing something metallic, and you're going to apply it to your material. So when you're applying materials, I mean, you could have done this in You could have done this in Max, but we didn't practice it, and this might come in handy now. So what you want to be able to do is perhaps pick only parts of the faces to apply material. And again, we're going to get into polygonal modeling more after spring break. But again, when you hold down your right button, you will have all this that comes up. And this is very helpful once you get used to it. And this is especially helpful when you want to apply materials, because you can pick them by face. So you know how in Rhino, when you can't like assign a material, here we can just pick a whole bunch of them, right click on the material, and oh wait, even better. We right click right here, assign existing material, and Blinn one. So we've managed to assign a material only to some parts of it. Let's change Blinn one so it's like more obvious. And again, you can probably, oops. Oops. All right, didn't mean to do that. Oops. So same way as, I don't know, whoops, that's an accident. Same way as we had with Max, you can also keyframe your materials. So here we want it to be red. And then let's see, I'm not actually sure what the best way is for this. Oh well, I actually don't know how to do that. Okay, So that's the sort of material layout. You will probably, your steps will be identify materials you need, go into the material attribute land, develop the materials you'll need, name them something nicer than Blinn. You can edit all of these things in the attribute editor to the side. And then when you're ready, go ahead and click on what material you want. If it's all one object, you can use object mode, but if it's certain faces, you can actually select face by face. So that's materials. I also really recommend, again, I was going to do it in class, but there's not really a reason. This specific, so basically I would never ever like render in Maya. I always did the vector-based renderings because they are super beautiful. So this one I think is pure vectors. I would usually use a white Blinn and then have this contouring over it. The video is like
This is a quick demo for
5 minutes long. And it's like, this is all I ever used. So all the other stuff, I mean, I would sometimes maybe make it 2 colors. So you can change the contour line color, and you can change the outline color, and you can change the background color and the object color. And that's like enough, right? That's so much to work with right there. You can already imagine having something that was like this, and then having like rain come on it, and it would be very, like, it would be nice. So I just recommend you, like, you know how to assign materials, but you go here and watch this demo because this is like the sexiness. It's like the nicest way to render in Maya, and it only takes 5 minutes to learn. He talks kind of fast, but that's all I ever did was this. So check that one out. And the last but not least thing I'm going to show you today is oh yes, the rendering. So rendering is again very much like Maya or Max. You have under window and rendering editors. The 2 you will use is the render view. Actually, there's a really convenient thing called a render layer editor. I think he has a tutorial on this. But what for now, all you really need to know is you have render settings, which is your render settings panel, which is pretty typical. And clicking on this guy right here is called a film gate. So I don't know if any of you, I mean, I think some of you have experienced it in Rhino, maybe some of you experienced it in Max, where the proportion of your rendering was way out of whack than what it was showing on the screen, because Rhino does it okay, but some programs don't capture the dimensions of your rendering very well. So what you will always want to have on is your film gate, which is right here. So terrible for modeling, great for setting up renderings. Then this is, and again, something exactly like, it's funny, figures. So again, this is something similar to Max. I don't know if any of you experienced this, but Maya also renders with Mental Ray. And some of you, I don't even know, can you guys check right now under render settings? Do you have Mental Ray here? So you got to go to your plugin managers, and I don't know why this is still happening. It's like unbelievable. I was like, it's 2016, this won't happen. Let me find the plugin manager. Okay. Under Windows and set, this has been like going on always. So the first, I don't know if every time you open this on your personal computer, you will have to do this. I know that it will probably save. You have to open the plugin manager and actually force Mental Ray on. I don't think it's a smell one. Hold on one sec. Let me go find this. So apparently I have to download this. This is weird. So just be aware. I'm gonna not download this right now and just continue to show you the sort of render setup. But what you need to do is render settings, maybe download that plugin, but under this render using, you will want to adjust this. And I think for the contour one, you adjust this to Maya Vector, I think. I don't remember entirely. So you might use Maya Vector, and then you want to use Mental Ray for proper renderings. It will default to the weirdest image. So you Maya If, which is like cinema stuff, which we won't use. So you want to change it to a TIFF. And that's all batching stuff probably. This is your sort of presets. I usually don't use this much, but what's nice is you can immediately change to sort of different standards. So a 1000 pixel by 1000 pixel square. And if I hit close, Windows, render view, I can render the current frame. Beautiful. So again, just like Max, window, rendering settings, you can change the environment color under, up, color management, You can name it different things here if you want it to be not whatever your file name is. Here you change your window that you're rendering in. Environment, where are you? You can change these sort of environment fog. So there's a lot of stuff in here to explore. But everything is sort of changeable and you can work with different types of things. So that's all that we're going to cover today. What I want you to work on now is looking at some of the things I put on the website. So looking at this guy's work and looking at the other things I put up, like this one, creating water flow, Googling other sorts of simulations and starting to come up with an idea of what you want to produce. Will they be still images? What's your idea that you're trying to convey? And how are you going to do that? Okay? Go.